It's another track from the Mucker album, which is called Neil Diamond's 20 Golden Greats, a title that kind of slips off the tongue. Brother Love's Travelling Salvation Show, which wasn't a hit, but should have been. One of the decisions that we came to last night at the meeting that we had about Radio One's future was to deport Tony Blackburn. He's abroad now, on his way to Australia. Tony, where are you, actually?
Well, I've managed to reach the Isle of Wight, actually.
Well done.
And they suggested I should go in the prison there. But, in fact, at the moment, we're in a lovely little village called Brading, and we're at Osborn-smith's Wax Museum. And the owner and the person who started it all is Graham. Graham, it's a really lovely museum, this. How long has it been here?
Oh, we've been going now for 13 years. We started in 1965.
Basically, what is the difference between... Obviously, you must be compared with Madame Tussauds.
Well, we're compared very favourably with Madame Tussauds. You know, they're not the only ones that have all the answers, but you see, basically we're smaller, but we have historical scenes based on island characters, and we have things like Henry VIII, King Charles I, and all that sort of thing, you see.
Yeah. Presumably the season's over for you now, is it? Or not?
Well, no, we're open 366 days a year.
Really?
We like the Windmill Theatre, we never close.
What, even on Christmas Day?
Yes, even on Christmas Day, I come in personally, and you'd be surprised the number of people that come round.
As you come into the museum, and it's really we've been round it, and Peter Powell's going to go inside and chat to you about it. But Lord Mountbatten's
oh yes,
looks particularly good there. Tell us a little bit about him, because he has a lot to do with the island, doesn't
well,
he?
yes, he's the present governor of the island, you see, and we wanted to do a figure of him, and so he sat and we took a series of photographs, and then we had him modelled, you see, and he loaned us his outfit to have it copied, and now you see him in the museum.
He particularly likes yours.
Well, yes, he was very keen because he's a very good-looking chap, but Tussauds, in fact, had him made much earlier on, you see, and then they aged him down. Well, naturally, nobody likes to see themselves a little bit older, so he's particularly keen on ours because we've got him at the right sort of period in his life.
I should actually say that we're not actually in the museum at the moment. We're actually in the courtyard. It really is a beautiful courtyard and a lovely building, this, isn't it?
Well, it is actually the oldest house in the Isle of Wight. The bit you see now, the rear of which you're looking at now, is early Tudor, and this is the old gallery courtyard, but it predates 1228. We find from excavation it's on an Anglo-Saxon site, and before that a Roman dwelling.
And of course you have a ghost here, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I don't know who runs faster sometimes at night time when we lock up, the ghost or me.
Right then, well, we've got a very ghostly record now, and after the record, Peter Powell's going to go inside and chat to you about the museum. It comes from Procol Harum, it's called A Whiter Shade of Pale.
We're actually in the Wax Museum with Graham Osborn-Smith. There's murder, scandal, torture. It's frightening, actually, a ghostly atmosphere. It's the sort of history of the Isle of Wight in wax. Graham, thousands of kids come. What do they most like?
Well, of course, kids always like plenty of blood. When we had a research team doing a sort of project on the museum, we asked the children, in fact, what they liked most of all. And, of course, they all said, more blood, please. But mind you, it's not all blood, you see.
I've got your wife here, Ruth, with me, actually. Ruth, is your husband a sort of a morbid type of fella? Because all the torture and the murder in the museum, is he?
Oh, yes, he's a real ghoul. Yes.
I should say, to everybody back at home, if you can get the idea, it's a maze of passages and lots of little alcoves, isn't it? We're coming now to something a little bit special. It's actually a coffin. What is the story of the coffin?
Well, there was a young girl, 16, lived in Brading, and she had the croup. And, of course, in those days, it was a serious sort of ailment, and she went into a coma, and the doctor pronounced her dead. They laid her in the coffin. That evening, the verger came round, saw the coffin lid opening, just like it is now, a hand coming out. Yes. He helped her out, she recovered, married, and lived to the ripe age of 69.
Good heavens. It's eerie.
Yes, here we show her, you see, with the coffin lid opening, and a guy sitting at the organ, sort of a skeleton sitting at the organ. We don't know how he came into it, but he's worked his fingers to the bone just for your pleasure, you see.
Good heavens. Graham, it's eerie and very, very interesting. And everybody back at home listening to this, if you do come to the Isle of Wight, you really must call in the Graham Osborn-Smith Wax Museum. Thank you very much indeed.
It's a pleasure.
To you, Graham.
Well, one day we may even stuff you and Tony Blackburn and put you in here.
I think we'd look great as wax models.
I think you would.
Thank you very much indeed, Graham. Back to the music. Our tune on the Sunbait Show coming later, but now here's the music with Donna Summer and MacArthur Park.